Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, immigration checkpoint set up Thursday on I-89 in Lebanon. Authorities call checkpoint's virtual tool. New Hampshire ACLU disappointed to see checkpoint. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Out the door when it matters most. For more than a decade, he's been right there, everywhere. And when American jobs are on the line, he leads the charge. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast, and we thank you.
And this is a video from that checkpoint from a news camera, as you can see. Okay, and that was video from that checkpoint. U.S. Custom and Border Protection officers set up an immigration checkpoint Thursday morning on Interstate 89 in Lebanon. Agents stopped cars at the checkpoint between exits 19 and 18. Border Patrol agents routinely conduct these checkpoints on interstates across the country, including in New Hampshire. The agency is legally allowed to set up checkpoints on roads within 100 miles of a U.S. border, officials said. Officials did not disclose how many people, if any, were taken into custody by agents at the checkpoint. Officials with the New Hampshire American Civil Liberties Union released a statement in reaction to the checkpoint, saying in part, "We are deeply disappointed to see checkpoints occurring anywhere in New Hampshire. They cause unnecessary delays and are a tax on time, as well as create a police state where law enforcement sees people without any suspicion that a crime has been committed." Graduation ceremony held for dogs at Merrimack County Jail. Inmate train dogs to be service animals for veterinary veterans. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
Somebody help, not just anybody help. You know I need someone.
It's gonna be hard to say goodbye.
But that's part of graduation, and this is no different. Except these graduates are puppies who have spent the last 6 months in jail being cared for by inmates.
I'm only 20 years old, so having this sort of relationship is really rewarding, I would say, to say the least.
The puppies are part of a rescue litter from Pennsylvania. They're being trained as service dogs for veterans or first responders. The first step is getting the puppies used to being around people.
By having the inmate participants handle the puppies, they get 24-hour care.
I didn't want to have a dog in jail. I didn't even believe it was a thing.
Now, Joel Barlow says Ryder is his best friend, and he's learned some things along the way.
I wasn't really good with patience, and patience is a virtue, and he's taught me so much now.
And the puppies are having an effect on the inmates overall.
They're more calm in their demeanor. They're much better able to manage their anger. We see a lot of reduction in anxiety.
As perhaps the puppies are filling a void.
The puppy gives them something that is unimaginable, which is unconditional love. And that's something that they may not have gotten to experience at all.
Right now, this is the only program of its kind in New Hampshire. Hero Pup says they'd love to expand it to other jails. In Boscawen, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Sounds like a great program there. Juvenile bald eagle rescued in Epping. Eagle exhibitor in neurological symptoms rehabilitation says. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
Well, check this out. Jane Kelly of On the Wing Raptor Rescue in Epping posted this video yesterday rescuing a juvenile bald eagle. And she says, to give you a reference of just how big the bird is, she's 5'10", and it's almost half her size. Jane says the male bird was exhibiting neurological symptoms and was covered in parasites. He was transported to Wings of Dawn in Henniker for more rehab.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Police release identity of motorcyclist killed in Belmont collision. Motorcyclist struck, killed on Route 106, police say. Police have publicly released the identity of a motorcyclist killed Tuesday evening in a crash on Route 106 in Belmont. The victim was identified as William Ray, 65, of Laconia. Officials said the driver of a Chevrolet drove 300 feet in the wrong direction about 7:15 p.m. before colliding with Ray's motorcycle. Both vehicles then collided with an Audi traveling behind the motorcycle. Police said Ray was wearing a helmet but was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the Chevrolet suffered serious injuries. Police said the Audi's driver was not seriously hurt. Any crash witnesses are asked to call Belmont Police Department at 603-267-8350. Record number of piping plovers hatched at New Hampshire beaches this summer. 20 chicks flagged at coastal beaches, officials say. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
New Hampshire's piping plovers are having a record year. The endangered birds fledged 20 chicks at Hampton and Seabrook beaches this summer, a new high for plovers. Biologists say those New Hampshire-born birds will likely survive the trip south for the winter before then returning next year.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire unsolved case file. Who killed Melissa Tremblay? 11-year-old Salem girl stabbed to death 30 years ago. Case remains unsolved. Let's look at this video from WMUR.
I won't stop fighting for justice for her. She deserves justice. We all do.
Okay, and there you go on that video. Woman 72 trapped under truck at gas station. A 72-year-old woman was seriously injured after she became pinned underneath a truck outside an Irving gas station Wednesday afternoon, police said. Police, fire, and emergency medical personnel responded to the gas station on Route 108 at approximately 1 p.m. after receiving a report of a motor vehicle accident involving a pedestrian. According to Police Chief Kyle True, emergency personnel had to free the woman who was conscious and alert but appeared to have suffered serious injuries. She was transported to Portsmouth Regional Hospital. True did not immediately release the name of the woman or the driver of the 2011 Dodge truck involved in the crash. The truck driver was cooperating with the investigation, True said. The woman's condition was not known Wednesday night. No charges have been filed. A worker at the Irving station said he wasn't able to comment and referred questions to the company's corporate office. Ahead of NHDP convention, Sanders' campaign rolls out 53 endorsements. Elected officials, community, and labor activists back Vermont Senator's president candidacy. The Bernie Sanders campaign on Thursday released a list of no fewer than 53 New Hampshire elected officials and activists who are backing the Vermont senator's bid for president. And now let's take a look at your U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market closed for this Thursday evening. And here's a look at that U.S. stock market for all of you. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Your Nasdaq closed in the green and went up. S&P 500 closed in the green and went up. Gold closed in the red and went down. Oil closed in the red and went down. US 10-year closed in the green and went up. Euro/USD closed in the green and went up. And VIX closed in the red and went down. Dow jumps more than 350 points after China and US agree to trade talks next month. Tech leads gains. Stock surged on Thursday after the US and China agreed to meet next month in Washington to discuss trade. Hurricane Dorian updates. Storm ready to unleash its fury on North Carolina. Hurricane Dorian is pulping the South Carolina coast Thursday before the powerful storm moves to unleash its fury on North Carolina. Hurricane Dorian, a Category 2, has prompted hurricane warnings for the entire South Carolina and North Carolina coastline as the storm crunches north. One storm-related death struck the Carolinas before Dorian did. An 85-year-old man fell off a ladder while preparing his Columbus County, North Carolina home for the storm, Roy Cooper, the governor, said. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night and bye.